What's up, gang? Dead Girl here. Today, we're heading out to Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. We're heading out to pick up our Halloween Horror Night tickets and to take a look at the construction updates to see what kind of stuff they've got set out in the Scarezone so far. We are less than 2 weeks away from Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know about you guys, but I am counting down and cannot wait. Let's head into the parks and see what we can see. Alright, gang, so while I'm in the car waiting to get into the gate for Universal, just a quick heads up, parking is normally $26 for the day. They do raise the rates a little bit during Horror Nights parking, and that usually stays active till about 10 p.m. Now, if you've got an annual pass and your pass comes with free parking, make sure that you've got that handy. This way you're going to save yourself some cash. When you get up to the gate to park, make sure that you've got your cash ready to go. This way it enables everyone to move through the gates a little quicker and smoother. This way you're not digging through change. We're getting ready to head in and pay our payments now, so we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, gang, now that we've made it to the parking lot, here is another pro tip. You do have to go past security when getting into Universal Studios. So, you want to take all of your belongings, hats, sunglasses, all that stuff. Make sure you've got them ready so that you can put them through the conveyor belt so that you can get through security quicker. Small handbags like this one here that I've got fits on my waist. I throw my phone, my keys, everything goes in it. This way it goes through the conveyor belt and I don't have to dork around with trying to throw stuff on the train, pulling stuff out of my pockets last minute. It definitely makes it go a lot smoother and a lot faster when you're heading through security. Alright, we are finally getting ready to head down through the escalator to the walkway, through security, so that we can head in to Universal Studios. Alright, so we are walking into Universal Studios. We're actually going to pick up our tickets for Horror Nights. I'm doing this because I don't want to wait in line the opening day. I want to be able to have my passes in hand so I can just go straight to the turnstile and head right on in. Now, they don't have any of their outside decor up yet. Normally they have a Horror Night sign in the middle here, and then they have the house signs here, and then over here. So I'm gonna grab our tickets and then we're gonna head inside. All right, we got our tickets. We are heading in. Now, if you head straight down upon entering the park, this first section where it doesn't look like there's anything out, this Scarezone is gonna be the Anarch Arcade. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with this and how they're going to set it up. Again, there's nothing out just yet. Further down this way, we are going to run into the Ghostbusters house, the queue for that, the queue for Yeti, and the queue for the Us house. So Ghostbusters, just as a heads up, is going to be where Stranger Things was last year, which is going to be over to the left over here. I'm going to walk you guys up a little bit closer and then I'll discuss further. But this whole section here between Shrek 4D and Minions is where the Anarch Arcade Scarezone is going to be. So just as a heads up, they've got, looks like they're just starting to put stuff out. There's really nothing to see here just yet. I'm sure once it gets a lot closer to Horror Nights, well, we're only a week and a half out, so they should be starting to put more stuff out here anytime now. So that's the good news. They've got, looks like, gonna be some drink tents over there with the little black and white striped tents. I know sometimes they do that quick service food pickup, so they could be putting those there. I'm not 100% sure, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But the queue for Ghostbusters is gonna start either right over here, or it's gonna start on the other side of these black and white tents, because that's where the Stranger Things one started last year. So again, Ghostbusters queue is gonna go this way. And it looks like it's gonna probably weave in and out quite a bit, just like it did for Stranger Things. That house is gonna be pretty popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if the wait times on that weren't gonna be more. Also, pro tip, if you pick up your fast passes after 10:30 p.m., it does get about $40 cheaper. So that's always really nice. Over to the left of the Monster Cafe, where that little undercovered patio is normally the outside bar that's set up for Horror Nights. The tents over here are normally some of the food tents. Now they are doing a Star Court Mall food court. Once we get around towards Stranger Things, I'll show you where I believe that's gonna be. If you head straight back there by New York, literally straight ahead, is where the queues are going to be for the Yeti house, which should be over here by Jimmy Fallon. And then straight back is where the queue for us is going to be. Right now, we're actually walking into the Zombieland Scare Zone. So that starts back here by Jimmy Fallon. They've already got some of their props set up. If you have not watched the Zombieland movies, I highly encourage you to do so. Same thing with Ghostbusters and Us. Definitely give those a watch. You're going to appreciate the houses so much more if you do. And it looks like they've added some stuff to one of the Zombieland props. Now here, I showed you guys last week actually, was the Zombie Kill of the Week. It looks like they've got seating set up. If you've seen Zombieland, you know, towards the end of the movie where our two lead female characters were trapped up in there and the boys had to come to the rescue. So it looks like they've got those set up. Whether or not going to have actors in them, I don't know. I'd be excited to see. And here they've got their strongman test for Zombie Kill of the Week. We're going to keep on heading through, check out some of the other props that they've got set up in this zone and some of the other scare zones. Right now we're headed through New York and we're over by the Mummy. I am going to backtrack a little bit. Normally they have the Halloween Horror Nights merchandise booth set up in those two doors over there, so you can go up and pick up exclusive merchandise straight for Halloween Horror Nights. Usually the pass holder merch is going to be there. All kinds of shirts and lanyards and clothing and artwork is usually found in there. And the Blues Brothers show is going on, so it's going to get kind of loud here in a minute, folks. Alright, so they've added some more stuff for the Zombieland Scare Zone over by that Wayland Specific Treasures, sorry, is where Woody Harrelson was held up fighting off the zombie horde. It looks like they've added a screen up top here. Not sure what's going to be playing there, but they're slowly but surely adding some stuff out. Again, sorry for the noise, but Blues Brothers is happening. We're going to keep moving on to see what else we can see. Now we're coming up on the end of the Zombieland Scare Zone, or the beginning, depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from that direction, which is Harry Potter and the Hellbilly Deluxe Scare Zone, this is going to be the start of the Zombieland Scare Zone for you. If you're coming from Jimmy Fallon's, it's going to be the end. So right there, they've got Malik's Bake Shop, which is where they had all those Twinkies that Woody Harrelson's been looking for. It's kind of cool to see the Twinkie truck there, live and in person. So that's going to end this Scare Zone. We're going to keep on moving down past Diagonal Alley towards Fast and the Furious, which is where they've got the Hellbilly Deluxe Scare Zone set up. And off in the distance there, see those tents? Those are normally drink tents, where they've got the specialty drinks during Halloween Horror Nights. As you can see, during the day, those tents are closed. Those are specifically set up to handle the crowds for Horror Nights. So we're going to hang a left here. We're going to come around down past Fast and the Furious towards the Hellbilly Deluxe Scare Zone. So there is Fast and Furious Supercharge, and if you head straight down, we are going to run smack dab into the middle of Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe Scare Zone. Really excited to see what they do with this zone, especially as far as the costumes and makeup are concerned. If you don't know who Rob Zombie is, he is a rock and roll singer. He's amazing. He's directed films like House of a Thousand Corpses, Halloween 1 and 2 remakes, The Devil's Rejects, and coming out soon, 3 from Hell. This Scare Zone is based strictly on his Hellbilly Deluxe album. Make sure that you go online, hop on YouTube, and check out some of those videos to give you guys a better idea of what's in store. So we're just gonna head on in, see what they've got set up. I'm fairly certain they're going to be blaring all kinds of Rob's music through the Scare Zone, which is going to be pretty popular. They've got some sets already up here. Looks like an electrocution chair, so they're probably going to be torching somebody. They've got a giant chair set up there. And for those of you complaining, pentacles in the right direction, also known as pentagrams. They've added quite a bit since we've actually come here last. Some of it very trippy. I'm just doing again a quick little walk through. The park is pretty crowded today, so I'm trying not to stop and get in people's ways. I'm gonna jump off to the side here and do a quick shoot back. So we're gonna spin around. And I'm just gonna kinda wander through here one more time. So yeah, all kinds of sound equipment for music. All kinds of little setups here. This is probably gonna be, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, more than likely one of my favorite scare zones, just because I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie's music. Can't wait to see what they do for this, and I also cannot wait to see what they do for the House of a Thousand Corpses house. Alright, so walking back through, I want to first and foremost apologize because I did miss it. Stranger Things is going to be back by where the Poltergeist house was last year, which is back by the New York area. It's going to be next to the Us house. So when you enter the park, if you walk straight back and beeline it, you're going to literally run into Stranger Things and Us. So that's where the Stranger Things house is going to be. We're now walking out of the Hellbilly Deluxe Scare Zone towards Harry Potter. We're going to do the loop around. We'll run into some other houses, which are usually back by Men in Black. I'll tell you what those are, as well as the scare zone that's normally unnamed and unannounced, which is going to be The Simpsons. They normally have a roaming chainsaw horde there, which is always fun, and they have a couple of houses back by ET. So I'm going to take you guys over there and give you an idea of where things are going to be at. Alright, so once you go past Harry Potter, which by the way, there are no characters, nothing spooky at all in the Harry Potter section of the park. So if you're coming and you don't want to be scared and you kind of want to stay away from the scare zones and Horror Night stuff, you do have to go through a couple of them to get there, but it's going to be your safest spot. So you can see I stopped and got a butterbeer because it is hot out. Make sure that you guys are hydrating when you're coming because it gets warm. Now, near the bridge that will take you to The Simpsons from Harry Potter, there are some drink tents set up. Over to the left is where Academy of Villains is going to be. They've got their show dates. Times are going to be listed closer to the show, right next to that section, which is kind of nice. We're going to walk back by here. As you can see, Men in Black is over there. It's a busy day in the park today, and it is a hot one, boys and girls. If you've got your refill cups, bring them with you. If you refill them during the day, they're usually good until about 2 a.m. during Halloween Horror Nights, because the park is usually open between 1 and 2 depending on the day. Make sure that you are checking your show times. If you head across the bridge here, you'll see right over there are some more drink tents, and back near the restroom area on the other side of the giant Freestyle Coke building is where two of the other houses are going to be. I'm going to head a little bit closer to give you guys a better look. Alright, so back here by Men in Black, you're going to have the House of a Thousand Corpses house over here. Depths of Fear and Nightingale's Blood Pit entrance is going to be here. So you're going to have 3 houses right in this area over here by Men in Black. So we're going to head back over. Again, there's that Freestyle Cook machine. We're going to head through The Simpsons, which is usually an unnamed chainsaw wielding freaky scare zone. Last year it was a carnival type theme. Not sure what it's going to be this year, but we're going to head back this way through The Simpsons, down by ET, where there's going to be a couple of more houses set up, as well as through that little Central Park area where the Viking scare zone is going to be. So I'm going to take you guys through there right now. Alright, so if you come back from Simpsons all the way over here, we've got some food tents set up. This is over by E.T. and SpongeBob. Twisted Taters is going to be back right there for you fans of Twisted Taters, and I believe Pizza Fries is probably going to be there too. Now, back by the E.T. area, there's going to be 2 houses. The Universal Monsters house is going to be back here, and then that Graveyard house is also going to be back here by E.T., which is usually back here, and then back in there are going to be our other 2 houses. Now, Killer Clowns is actually going to be located over in Shrek. So my apologies for missing that when I first got into the park, but we're doing a quick loop here. Now, we're heading over through the Central Spark area, which is what is going to be set up to be the Vikings scare zone. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see as far as what they do for the costuming and for the sets. Coming through here, there really isn't much. It looks like they've got some lights set up. They've got some pavilions set up. So they are starting to put out some more things. Just not a whole lot. Looks like they've got up a little archway there. Looks like they're going to be setting something up over here. Some rocks. Of course, they've got that sign out, pardon our dust. So we're just gonna take a quick peek through there, and I'm really hoping that we see some blood eagles. That would be amazing. Now, instead of pumpkins in the trees, I don't know if you guys can see that, but they've got some skeletons set up. They've also got some lighting hanging up here. I'm gonna head back towards that rock piece. I'm not really sure what that is, but at least they're slowly setting stuff up. So again, some skeletons in the trees. I'm gonna try to give you guys a better look at these skeletons. It's really hard because the lighting in this section is not the best, and the skulls kind of match the tree barks. So there's a couple of them up there. There's some more up in those trees. So instead of pumpkins, we've got skulls here in the Viking Scarezone. As we continue on through, looks like we're catching one of the floats coming out. Down towards Mel's Dying is gonna be that last Scarezone. I wanna say like the Vanity Ball one here. Doesn't look like they've got a whole lot much more set up from what they've had last time. But we're gonna wander that way anyway and see what we can take a look at. So there's Mel's Dying. Always a favorite. Over there, we've got the horror makeup show, which is normally closed during horror nights. So my apologies, you're not gonna see much there. And we're dropping into the Vanity Ball Scarezone, where they've added some lovely signage. Looks like they're also adding some set pieces, which is definitely more than what we've seen last time. A couple of the scare zones are a little sparse for being this late in the game, but hey, maybe Universal's trying to give us a good surprise. So here we've got the Megamorph booth with, of course, the signage of do not climb, stay off of it. They've got some more of those little doohickeys set up with some more of that lovely, I guess that's like a pastel green thing, so that's kind of cool. Scooby-Doo's departing for the day, as is the gang, it looks like. Pluto and Olive Oil are still out doing meet and greets. They've also got an additional set piece here for the Vanity Ball off to my left over there, which is kind of cool. So that's, you know, they're slowly but surely getting there. I feel like I'm kind of escorting the mystery machine and I'm walking behind them. So I'm gonna take that as my duty for the day. I'm doing something good, I guess. So there's a better look. Plasmar, the other little platform they've got set up here. So they're getting things ready for Halloween Horror Nights. This girl couldn't be more excited. And I'm gonna take you over here now. Sometimes they do the entrance to this house differently. I'm talking Killer Clowns is gonna be back here in the Shrek area. Now sometimes they do the house entrance over here. I've seen them do it on the other side closer to the Monster Cafe, but chances are it's probably gonna be back in here. So yeah, it's a little quick trip here to Universal to see where they're at. All right, gang. We're heading on out to do a quick wrap up, but real quick, here's a good tip for you. If it's hot, because let's face it, it's Florida, it's still summer, it's still gonna be hot in September. If you start to get overheated into the parks, run into one of the stores. You don't have to buy anything. Go in, hang out for a few minutes, get some air conditioning, cool down. The bathrooms are also a good place for this. Head into the closest bathroom, grab a paper towel, wet it with a rag, stick it behind your neck, hang out for a few minutes and cool down. And also keep hydrated. Drink plenty and plenty of water. If you buy one of the freestyle cups, those cups are fantastic. You can actually use those to fill water instead of sodas, so you can keep yourself hydrated. And with that, we're heading on out to do a quick wrap up. Alright gang, that's going to do it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would, give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not yet a subscriber. And thank you so much for tuning into my channel. What are you guys looking forward to the most this year at Halloween Horror Nights? I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below. Thanks again, and until next time, keep it spooky.